change that we're making, which is in Section 3, dealing with the armed forces guarding our border, and the exemption that we're giving to them has been added as an amendment to your bill. I think you were aware of this, and I think that we had vetted this out and talked to the folks that are drawing up the fiscal note for us. And this has we've been told by the Speaker's office and by others that they would be willing to waive this if necessary. We just wanted to find out what the details. But for now, I'll go ahead and turn it back over to you, if that's okay, Mr. Chairman.
Make sure you turn on your mic.
Not sure where we were. This
He's on page 2. He's coming down. He started on 1 he got into the point with the exemption.
I let the committee know that it was simply most of the bill, with the exception of Section 3, is housekeeping.
And yeah. When we passed the comprehensive bill last year, there were some terms that we used that you'll find in here that weren't exactly what the Department of Revenue would like to see in the code section. For example, on line 25 of page 2, instead of wages, striking that word and replace it with payments, compensation, or other remunerations, what it should say. And that's pretty much it on page 2. We've already gone over section 3. Okay, I'm sorry. Section 3 is the amendment that was added. This is a substitute, I take it? Yes. This would grant a, right now we give a tax exemption. Oh, thank you. Tax exemption for those military personnel that are serving in active duty in a combat zone. This would just simply add to that those are stationed in defense of the borders of the United States. That's on section 3. There's a fiscal note on that provided by Georgia State. This is the first I've seen it, so I apologize if I sound like I'm unprepared. I am. This says the total estimated revenue loss would be $370,765 for fiscal year 08.
Any questions of the Senator? Go ahead, Mr. Butler.
Just to clarify.
Turn your mic on, please.
Senator Rogers, just so I make sure I understand this, members of the National Guard and the Reserve who are stationed in, who are in a combat zone have their income tax exempted.
Correct.
And this would include now those people who are on the Mexican border. Would this also apply to someone who is deployed but not in the combat zone? Are members of the National Guard who may be deployed to a non-combat zone but are away from their home, is their income exempted from tax now?
No, only if they were stationed in defense of the borders. So that would be it. I mean, if they were sent to like Iowa or somewhere in Europe and they're not in a combat zone, then it would not impact them. Only if they're stationed in defense of the borders. And I think we've had National Guard deployed to our southern border in Arizona and perhaps in New Mexico, but nowhere else would that apply.
Would it be feasible then if a person was in the National Guard and deployed but not in a combat zone to also exempt their income? Why not exempt their income tax if they are away from home?
I'm not opposed to that, but I think you're bringing into it a lot more people, and the fiscal impact would be significantly greater. Yeah, that would be enormous.
If I may, on that, I can kind of hit on that. Representative Flood, as a deployed member, some National Guard are mobilized and deployed for training, and if they don't go to the combat zone, they end up usually at a place like the Joint Training Center in Fort Polk or at Fort Irwin at the National Training Center. Usually that's what happens when they're deployed, and then they're sitting sort of in a case of limbo out there. They're really not. They're still National Guard. They're really not active duty until they come back and actually get on the plane or get on the boat to go. And then they become part of the regular Army at that point in time. So I think
I've been there. I can tell you why.
But anyway, that's the difference between the two.
Thank you.
I do have I have a question, and first I want to ask the former chairman of this committee on whether or not this is a revenue bill or not. With the impact of the 307, as it came over. Okay. Now we've amended it and adjusted it back to a revenue bill. Now let me ask this question, the second question, and I would refer to council from section 3 and back to section 1. Are we germane here with the two sections? Which I know we've got a same subject matter, but are we germane? Just want to make sure.
Well, in response to that question, the remainers, of course, is solely within the discretion of the presiding officer of this committee or the speaker, should it go to the floor.
I understand.
It would be inappropriate for me to answer that part of the question, but as far as the subject matter issue goes, it's probably okay. I've certainly seen infinitely worse combinations this session.
I'm merely asking for the sake of yes, sir.
Everything deals with the subject of income taxation.
We got a movement to do that. And a second. All in favor of the bill, sign by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, thank God you're here.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, I'll be back.
Come on over and take your seat. All right. I did add a bill that we passed out in the sales tax subcommittee a while ago. And I did not get a chance to ask you because you were presenting at the time. That is House Bill 185. Is that correct? Not in the vote. We just added it out. Do 139, yes, sir. But I was planning on taking that next. I wanted you to look at that and tell me what you want to do with 185 if you don't mind. 139, that would be Senator Hill.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Come on up and present your bill.
Thanks for the opportunity. Like all of us, I've got 4 hearings at 3 o'clock today, so I'm trying to clone myself. This is a resolution that you've had a chance to I've had a chance to be before you already, I think earlier this week, as well as the subcommittee with Representative Scott. Essentially what this does, it's an urging resolution urging Congress to increase the amount that individuals can put into health savings accounts if they choose to and have the financial means to do so each year, up to $10,000 a year from the current $2,850. I'd be happy to try to answer any questions, and thanks for the opportunity to be here.
Any questions of the senator? Mr. Scott?
Appropriate time, I'd like to make a motion to pass.
I think we've reached that point.
We'll let it pass.
We've got a motion to pass in a second. All in favor of the motion? Aye. All opposed?
Thank you,
Good luck in rules.
gentlemen. Thank you.
All right, last but not least on our agenda is the substitute to Senate Bill 185, and you bear me purpose.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes.
Back again.
Yes, this bill, we have had a subcommittee substitute with minor modifications in it. The purpose of the bill is to provide an enforcement mechanism for collecting sales taxes on boats and vessels that are sold. There's an advertising campaign going on in a couple of places that are up in Chattanooga and over in Phoenix City, where the advertisements will go save 6% and buy from us and bring it into the state. So they're intentionally trying to get around paying sales taxes on vessels. What this bill does is make a mechanism so that when they apply for their boat number and DNR decal that goes on the boat, prior to that being issued, there's verification that the sales taxes are paid on the vessel. And that's simply all the bill does.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman?
this is a good beginning on the other hand. I thank you for bringing this conversation forward.
Mr. Chairman, I have one question, and this is the only, a couple of years, 2 or 3 years ago, we had an issue about whether or not this was a retinue, which was a retinue deal, which is not. The word, if you will, if y'all look on line 15, you and Chairman Roy, if y'all look on 15, the word paid, and should that be collected rather than paid there? Do you remember that, Chairman Roy, when we had that about 4 years ago, where it's been, I remember it when we deliberated that in committee several times on how we. Just want to make sure, he did not, our legislative council, we did not write this. So, now, but on the, he's got it on the original bill, it had that in, that was the reason we didn't pass it. All right, I'll take the motion this time, Mr. Chairman. Second. Pass and second, all in favor, Bill, say aye.
Aye.